Hey everybody, how you doing? Joe Daniels from Swing This Kettlebells in Latonia, Kentucky. SwingThisKettlebells.com. I'm here to address a situation that people may not be taking as much of a look into as they need to. Basically, I'm talking about shoulder flexibility. That I see a lot of people come down here to use kettlebells and they're really still thinking it's a bar. Everybody's used to that one plane motion of pressing upward. They're not used to the rotational stuff that really have to work in the shoulder, and especially in the shoulder joint. But what I like to do to warm up, I like using not just flexibility, like using the foam rollers, which you should be using by now, and other myofascial release techniques, but also activation techniques, such as, especially for the shoulders, Indian clubs. These are pretty interesting. What really brought it to my attention was a guy named Jason Dolby. I haven't really done too much with them. I just use them to activate the shoulders, do a lot of big arcs and circles and whatnot, crossing them front and back, and first couple times I'm feeling a couple pops and grinds in the shoulder. But by actually having those extra couple pounds on the end of your arms, you really have to pay attention and activate, not just the delts, but the rotator cuff muscles, lats, and all your trapezius muscles, not just the upper, but the lower and the middle trapezius. They're very good for working on your control of your shoulder, getting everything to flow. Like I said, I just do very basic stuff. If I have some time, I'll start working on some more with that. But also, the Indian clubs, they're pretty cool. Good way to warm up. I also like using just regular mini bands to activate in different angles. So I'll take up, press out wide, take down and around, rotate. So actually work on the rear delt. So basically activate the muscles, not just the delt. Everybody knows how to do your lateral raises and stuff like that and front delts, but I'm talking about the smooth motion of getting these guys to really work together, not just as one. But I probably got a messed up wrist on this side. It's kind of take me a while to get used to that one. But the wrist, elbow, and shoulder all working together. I also like taking bands, not really bands, I've cut a rope into pieces of polyester rope, and I like working kind of like the old broomstick to activate and get that shoulder to work correctly. I also like doing a little variation where I'm going kind of like a swim. But I do that until I feel my shoulder are pretty warm. So the last thing you want to do is start with cold shoulder. You know the phrase, to give someone the cold shoulder. Well, you don't want to be giving some heavy weights the cold shoulder, they'll come back and get you. Definitely make sure you're warmed up. Make sure those muscles are activated. And here's another thing people might be not used to using is a Theracane or a Body Back Buddy, basically a trigger point release tool. I've always had problems with my infraspinatus, which is one of the rotator cuff muscles, and now I can reach it with a little bit more focus and dexterity than just using a tennis ball on the wall, which you'll still see me do. But this is definitely will get you into the spots where you can really control that release of those tissues. These are really good. Definitely worth the price, $30 or less, or something like that. But anyway, flexibility for kettlebells. We're not here to press in one plane out like this. What we're doing is pressing or working on stability in the shoulder, where the lats are engaged just as much as everything else. We really need a flexible tricep. For that bell to rise up, because once again, we're not pressing straight up. Right away, that starts to bother me. And once again, the reason why I got into kettlebells was so I can focus on that whole shoulder and basically build my shoulders a little bit more rounder than what I was getting with the traditional, front raises, side laterals, and all the other angles. So every press and every snatch that I'm doing involves using that shoulder and all of the shoulder. So I can feel that shoulder really working and being stable the whole time. Last thing I want to do is get 70 pounds overhead when you're doing squats or something like that and have the shoulder pop out. So basically, here's some tools so you can start with that shoulder stability and rehab program.